Hello, this is Rhea from Patriots Rise Up, and I'm going to do my next video on the Christmas surprise. But as I was doing some research for this, and the funny thing is, mostly everything's been scrubbed, except for this page. This is the only site. But anyway, I found the history of Fema, so we're going to go with that for this video, and we'll go from there. Alright, so, the secret history of Fema. I'm definitely not reading all this. You guys, I'll leave the link. You can read through it. It's got a bunch of crap, but anyway. But Fema under the radar nature was originally a feature, not a bug. During the past 7 decades, the agency has evolved from a top-secret series of bunkers designed to protect U.S. officials in case of a nuclear attack to a sprawling bureaucratic agency tasked with mobilizing help in the midst of a disaster. The transition has not been smooth, to say the least, and to this day, the agency's weird history can be glimpsed in its strange mix of responsibilities, limitations, and quirks. And then there's this fun fact. Along the way, Fema's forefathers created a legacy that is too often forgotten. Inside those bunkers during the 1970s, the nation's emergency managers invented the first online chat program, the forerunner to Slack, Facebook Messenger, and AIM, which have together transformed modern life. So computers and all the crap they spy on was first done here, or one of the first places. So I did not know that. I did not know that at all. And we'll just leave that alone. I'll mess with stuff for now. Anyway, Fema didn't start off as Fema. Hold on. Bureaucratic. Oh my God, I'm so tongue-tied. Forgive me. It's late. Indifference has marked nearly every aspect of the nation's homeland security operations, a point best indicated by the FCDA's evolution. Over the following decades, it migrated regularly between different departments and underwent nearly a dozen name changes and agencies affiliations before eventually becoming the Federal Emergency Management Agency in the 1970s. After the 9/11 attack, there was yet another organization reshuffling, and the agencies finally ended up part of the Department of Homeland Security in 2003. The administration threw its weight behind a congressional effort to reestablish what was then known as the Office of Emergency Preparedness under a new name, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, uniting the nation's disaster response with its planning for continuity of government, the secret programs that were supposed to snap into place in the event of a nuclear war. Created in April 1979, Fema brought together more than 100 programs from across the government. Publicly, the agencies would be known for coordinating the government's response to natural disasters like floods, hurricanes, and tornadoes, but few in the public understood that much of Fema's resources went instead to its primary mission, coordinating the nation's post-apocalyptic effects. Oh my God, I need to go to bed. Oh, I should have did this in the morning. Oh well. And that the majority of its funding and a third of its workforce was actually hidden in the nation's classified black budget. The agency's real focus and its real budget was known to only 20 members of Congress. Interesting. That sounds about right though. Let me get to some more good parts. Hold on. You guys can read through all this. I wasn't going to. It was just one of a dozen bunkers and relocation facilities that Fema's predecessor agencies built around the country, including what it called Federal Regional Center bunkers in places like Denton, Texas. A lot going on in Texas lately. Maynard, Massachusetts, Thomasville, Georgia, Bot Hill, Washington, and Denver, Colorado. The Denton Center, the first to open in 1964 and still in use today. We won't go through everything. It's got. You could read that. You can only imagine. Of course, they got the computers and crap in there. What else we got? I don't want to run out of time, and I'm not reading all this. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Like I said, it's late. I wanted to work on the Christmas surprise one, but then I fell into this history and thought y'all should know. OEP and its successors, Fema, carefully collected data including longitude and latitude on more than they got this worded wrong, on more than 2 million structures across the country that it planned to monitor in the event of a nuclear attack. Everything from 10,873 grain silos to 8,184 hospitals, not to mention the 316 mines and caves it had scouted over the preceding decades that could be used to house industrial manufacturing and process in the wake of a nuclear war. Or God knows what else they got up their sleeve. If there was a nuclear war, I'm not going to read all that. You guys can read it. FEMA also devoted extensive planning in the 1980s to scout where the civilian population would live after a nuclear attack or a war, embarking on a top-secret effort with the FBI known as Project 908, or 908, as it was called, to map the nation's commercial buildings for possible refugee resettlements, all part of a larger 1980s program known as Crisis Relocation Plan that calculated how to evacuate the nation's major cities. Project 908 saw FBI agents working effectively undercover for FEMA, detailing large warehouses, automobile facilities, Masonic temples, Elks Lodge, casinos, campsites, Coca-Cola bottle plants, really Coca-Cola? Oh my God. Indian bingo halls, country inns, furniture stores, and other potential relocation facilities. In Arkansas? I don't know, I'm too tired. Agents lined up a meeting with Walmart, here we go, executives to discuss using the company's huge stores for Project 908, explaining as a cover that they wanted to learn crisis management techniques from companies that had large centralized leadership. Denver agents dismissed a closed Coors brewery plant in Colorado because the caretaker was loose-mouthed. So he was a patriot, in other words. Meanwhile, in Redding, California, 160 miles north of the state capital, FBI agents approached the owner of the Viking skate country, Redding's Fun Center for Kids. Oh yeah, let's throw in the frickin' pedo sickness in this frickin' article. You can't get away from it. Oh my God. Known to the government as Sacramento Suite number 34, and outlined their proposal. The owner responded enthusiastically, telling agents he was a fiercely loyal American and would cooperate fully. Oh, really? You're not a patriot and you should be hung. So that's how all that Walmart and everything else, all them buildings they're using came to be. FBI agents presented cooperating business owners with secret agreements to rent their facility for nuclear war. Lengthy, I can't even do it, I'm too tired. To the contracts, outline required utilities and infrastructure upgrades needed to support crisis operators, the cost of which were fully paid by the government, as were separate phone lines installed at each facility. The government also paid a token annual fee on the order of $1,000 or $2,500 to ease cooperation. I'm pretty sure it was more than that. During an emergency, the FBI would also pay a daily fee for each day it occupied the facility. So they're getting rich while they are chipping and killing, and God only knows what the hell else they're going to be doing to us, the patriots, in the fucking FEMA camps. Under a crisis relocation plan, nearly 150 million Americans out of the country's then total population of 225 million would be evacuated out of the 400 high-risk cities into smaller surrounding towns, and these pre-selected buildings under FEMA's estimates. Some 65% of that population could be evacuated in as little as 1 day, and fully 95% could be evacuated in 3. My thing's in the way. Strategic warning. FEMA estimated would be achievable under most circumstances, since it was more likely that a nuclear attack would follow a period of intense international tension. Oh, tension, you think? I think it's going to be a whole lot more than tension. The greatest danger is hopelessness. The fear that nuclear attack would mean the end of the world, so why not just give up, lie down, and die? That idea brings senseless and useless death to many, for protection is possible, and your own chances of survival will be much greater if you remember not to go to a FEMA camp. That is your #1 rule. Don't trust the government. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish in this one, but I'm going to try, so I'm going to try to speed up. FEMA would distribute millions of printed brochures, perhaps going door to door, or perhaps by distributing it with local newspapers. They also took out ads in the local phone books. As the crisis intensifies, the evacuation appears imminent. If you have a vacation cabin or relatives or friends outside the risk area or within a safe distance, go there as soon as possible, the brochure explained. Oh, just wow. So it's right, they're going to drop shit out the sky and tell us to go to FEMA camps. Now about the Big Apple. Nobody suggests you could move New York City in 15 minutes. That's stupid. This was back then when Reagan was in office. Reagan's FEMA chief, who cares what their name is because they're not there, but we could do New York if we had a plan in place. We could do New York in 5 days a week. The per hour capacity of each road out of New York had been carefully calculated. Pre-positioned bulldozers would help ensure smooth travel. No, they're going to block you in, just like they've done in so many other disasters. Quickly removing disabled automobiles. No, they're going to block you in. More than 4.8 million carless New Yorkers would be evacuated by subway train, ferry barges, cruise ships, and civilian commercial aircraft, as well as more than... Alright, you get the gist with that, right? Another 300,000 Manhattan residents would travel by subway to Hoboken and be loaded in boxcars. Boxcars, you mean the ones that have the guillotines in them? Alright, so there's plenty more to this, but I'm not reading it. I'm getting short on time, and I'm tired. It's almost 12 o'clock here, and I can't see or talk or whatever, can't read. But I appreciate you being on my channel and checking out this information. This is just information that I'm putting out there. Take it or leave it. I prefer you take it. You can spread my videos anywhere. I don't care. Fair use. Spread it far and wide. And y'all have a good night or good morning wherever the hell you are. And I'll be seeing you soon. I got more coming tomorrow. Peace out. Raya from Patriots Rise Up. Patriots Rise Up. It's time to wake the F up.